Welcome to another episode of the Nick and Jimmy Show. On today's episode, we have Carlos Guerra. For the people that don't know who's Carlos, he's an ex-con. He did time in Panama for 4.5 years. And right now, as we speak, he's a very, very, very successful videographer. Carlos, welcome on the show.
Thank you very much. So I'm Carlos. I'm a video clip director. I do a lot of music videos for a lot of artists, a lot of urban artists. Now I've been switching. I've been doing classical music too. This week I'm doing my biggest project for K-pop music. So it's pop. It's big. It's the first time I get such
Korean music.
It's Canadian, but the style is Korean and the dancer is Korean. So we're trying to.
And 12-year-old, you said, right?
And she's 12 years old. Her name is Sydney. And it's going to be super crazy. It's my biggest project. I'm super proud of it. And I'm happy to be here in the Nick and Jimmy Show.
Thank you for coming, man. We appreciate you.
Merci beaucoup. So talk to us about Panama. You were in Panama for a few years. You were sentenced for, if you want to explain what happened.
Yeah, so, people know a little bit about my story. I did 4 years and a half in prison in Panama for drug trafficking, you know? And this has been like 10 years ago. So I did my sentence there. I paid my dues, changed my life.
You finished 10 years ago your sentence?
No.
Or you were sentenced 10 years ago?
I was sentenced 10 years ago.
Okay.
I got sentenced for 8 years.
Okay.
That was my final sentence. I had to deal with it because it was 15 at the beginning. Got 8 years, did 4 years and a half in Panama. Came back to Canada. They had to do psychological evaluations and all that.
That's roughly 5 years ago.
Yeah. So I'm done. Now I'm done. I'm done with it, and I'm here, and I'm happy to be.
Good. And all right.
And what was the experience being there? I mean, first of all, you're Canadian.
Yeah, I'm Canadian.
And then you were there, and you were doing time over there. That must be insane.
Because there's a couple of documentaries on Netflix, the top 10 most dangerous prisons in the world, and one of them is Panama, I think.
Yeah,
or Colombia. I'm not sure.
It's a rough country, you know. It's a rough country, and I believe like anywhere in the world, we're all humans. We all have a mind and we all have a heart, and we're all able to communicate if we want to, you know. So it's all about communication. So it was a rough situation. La situation au Panama, c'est très violent, c'est pauvre, la nourriture est mauvaise. Les conditions de vie, tu sais, la prison, ils vont pas te fournir comme ici, ils vont te fournir de la nourriture, they'll give you du papier de toilette, brosse à dents. In Panama, they don't give you nothing, you know. You just get there and they're like, good luck. If you're trying to buy something from somebody, that's what they told me, and it stayed in my head. They say, if you're trying to buy something from somebody, that's what the director said just before I got into the prison, and he said, just make sure he gives it to you and you give the money. Don't give the money before. That's the only thing he told me. And he'd go. Then you get there, then everybody's like, you know, it's like in the movies kind of deal, you know, because you come in and everybody just, it's all over you, and they're trying to see where you're from, because if you're from some neighborhood they have trouble with, they'll probably stab you right there, you know. So I'm there trying to explain I'm Canadian, you know, so Canadian means for them pray, you know, basically, because yeah, because in their head we're a first world country, they're in a third world country, they're struggling, and we got money and they can abuse us. That's the mentality in the prisons in foreign countries, you know. So that was kind of the hardest part to break, because bro, I was doing so much time, I wasn't calling nobody, because nowadays if I take off your phone, how many numbers do you know by memory?
A handful.
You know, it's not much. And then these people, if they don't answer, if you got it wrong somehow, and you know, you can't be calling anytime, so it's very hard. You get separated, you know.
Of course.
And plus, me personally, I try to separate myself as much as I could, so I could
prepare yourself.
To prepare myself and be that kind of, entre guillemets, criminal, you know, and that criminal mind I had to embrace in order to be respected in that environment. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't have done it if I was calling my mom every day, you know. I was too connected, so
you had to disconnect.
I disconnected from everything and just went wild.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. From what I heard, never been in prison, right? But from what I heard, there's when a new person comes in, there's a ritual.
Well, in the place I was, like, There was not really a ritual. It's more the prison. They tell you, you know what? Now you need to be under observations for a month. And you're like, okay. And they put you like in the back of the prison. It's dark. You don't see shit. Yo, bro, it was so disgusting. Like the water, you know, like there's no water. Okay, you know, you've seen in documentaries or whatever the toilets for the prisons. Like have the sink here and the toilet it's under there. But the place they placed me, sorry, the robinet wasn't working.
Oh my.
So to drink water, you kind of put your glass into the toilet, you flush, and the water that comes out, you take and you drink. You know,
no way,
for
man.
a fucking month, you know. So that was like the introduction to all that shit. You know, no mattress, no nothing. I had a shirt, shoes, and pants, and that was it.
Insane.
Save yourself, you know. And then people come and try to you. It's like, bro, it's like, what do you want? My shirt, my dirty shirt. What do you want? Sorry.
And you have to defend yourself, of course.
Yeah.
Because if you don't defend yourself, that's when they step on you.
Of course, it's if you decide in the beginning, you'll decide if you'll be a prey or.
There you go.
But did you have to like join like a gang? Like what was going through your mind, man? At that time, were you like scared for your life? Like, man, it's crazy.
It was kind of hopeless, you know.
Yeah.
You kind of get in a mind state that you're like, okay,
You're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
But you're on survival mode.
Survival mode. That's the word. Survival mode.
You gotta survive.
Yeah. So you're just like, okay, whatever comes, you know, put it on. Je vais mettre la face pour défendre mes choses, mes principes surtout parce que les gens vont toujours essayer de manger sur ta tête.
100%.
So, c'est ça le truc. C'est ça que j'explique souvent aux gens. C'est parce que souvent les gens me disent, moi dans cette situation, je sais pas qu'est-ce que j'aurais fait. J'aurais battrippé, mais non. You know, they say, quand t'es confronté, when you have no choice, you're strong. You're strong. You'll know you're strong. You know, so that's kind of the position I got into.
And you also mentioned earlier, off camera, that you found solutions in a way that after you became comfortable, you opened up a library.
Yeah.
You were teaching people about music. Talk to us about that. That was beautiful, man.
So basically in Panama, the cells, you know, you get locked up at 3 p.m. until 7 a.m. every day, you know. So that's
You're in your cell the whole
that's
time.
the schedule, you know. And you're like in a cell, you're supposed to be 6, you'll be 8, 9, 10.
Oh my God.
12, you know, people sleeping on the roof with hammocks on the floor.
So no hygiene at all.
No
Cockroaches, everything.
all over. They became my friends. You know what I mean? Like when I got there, I was so disgusted by it. You know, like it was disgusting. And then I remember one day I just heard in my back ear sleep, and I woke up. I'm like, I lift up my little kind of matches, this thick, and I see like 1,000.
Oh my God, bro.
And that day, I accepted it, you know. I just got my mattress back, I slept over it, and I'm like, accepted it, you know.
Damn.
That was a hard part of, you know. Now I'm disgusted again, you know. It just during the time I was there, it was. So I had to survive, basically, you know. I had to survive. In my head, I had to do projects. I'm a creative person. I like to create music, images, whatever, as long as I'm imagining. That's my goal in life, you know. So I was there. I noticed there was this guy. He had a laptop. And I was like, whoa. If I had a laptop, I could install a program, record songs, do beats. You know, I could do so much. So I got close to that guy. Start helping him. He was selling coffee back then, and I was like, I'll help you every morning, and you lend me your computer 1 or 2 hours a day. He was like, go for it. I started getting my computer, went to the church and stole the microphone every night so I could just plug it in, sing and do stuff on the computer, no? Then I noticed there was this locale, you know, like maybe this big, and nothing was going on there. So I went to see the director, and I'm like, yo, maybe we could create like a recording studio in the prison, and we can try to rehabilitate people by the music. Mm-hmm. He's like, you're dumb. He said, we don't even have a library. How can I get a recording studio in prison? In my crazy head, I'm like, so if we make a library, we'll get a studio. It's like, sure. So we went back, and there was this group of people trying to figure out what to do to help the prison. We had no diner room. The visits were super crappy. So they were trying to think what would be the best thing they could bring to the jail to help people. And I proposed a library. I said, maybe we could do a library and, you know, try to instruct people and this and that. We start moving, they accepted it, we start moving, got contracts with some companies that were trying to help us out. So they gave us like 3,000 new books. We got like 6 computers, air conditioning, we built the shelves.
Oh, wow, okay.
So now we had a library, we had somebody teaching people how to read, we had somebody teaching people how to turn on a computer, because, you know, most of the people there, they with all respect, they're ignorance, you know? So we built that, and I went to see the director, and I'm like, yo, there's a library now, can we use the space for a studio? He's like, go ahead, do it. Start hustling again, calling people, trying to get, even offering protection for people, you know, because since I was, as I said, I was a foreigner, I was seen as a prey, but I changed the vibe, you know, because since I was so disconnected from everything from Canada, I wasn't thinking like a Canadian no more, you know, I was just like trying to hustle, trying to eat, you know, and I got involved with them, and they kind of...
They built a bond with you.
Yeah, we built a bond, and then we went to see like big drug trafficker, drug lords that were getting bullied in prison, you know, because they're millionaires outside, but when you're in prison, there's not
nothing.
your crew, your money isn't really worth, well, it is worth it, but they'll try to get it by force, not
But
by...
don't they have like people on the outside that help them? On the inside?
Yeah, but once the money get inside, what are they gonna do? You know, you see 3-4 guys with knives, and they're like, yo, give me your money. What you gonna do?
No, but they don't have protection, like don't they have people on the outside telling people on the inside to protect these people? Like usually, no? Like in the movies.
That's where we came in. We're like, yo, bro, you won't get mugged anymore. Just give us a computer.
Okay.
Boom, you got a computer here.
So you're offering protection for computers.
For computers,
So
for
imagine
equipment.
you walk in there, you're the guy from Canada,
Yeah.
and now you're the one offering protection.
Protection to
That's
these
beautiful.
guys, you know.
Insane.
Because my team, they were crazy, they were all rappers and musicians, you know. But they're there for homicide. They were there for 20, 30 years, you know. They didn't care, and they were just happy to have me and willing to record them and make music, and that's where I started.
But it took time to trust those people.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, when did that start? Like that moment, that your defining moment where like, you know what, I've accepted this, now I'm gonna become creative, I'm gonna do something about this, and
the moment was when I started getting the computer, you know, because the guy had the computer, he was doing some weird.
How long, while you're inside, how long did that happen?
A year.
A year?
6 months.
A year until I got access to the computer, and then it took me like probably 6 months. The people saw I was starting to record, do all the things, so they got interested, and some of the guys were like, yeah, I want to do it so bad, la, 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 la. So they just got like allied, you know. And then to find solutions, we were offering protection to these guys, and we built a studio like probably this big, but we had like a recording booth, we had like huge speakers,
And your
studio
team was
speakers.
how many people?
Huh?
Your team, how many people?
We were like 3. We were like 3, but they were worth like 20, you know. They were like crazy.
Yeah.
So from there we built the studio. That changed everything for me, you know, because now I had a studio with air conditioning, leather seats, you know, tapis, you know, and the cells.
And no roaches.
And no roaches. And the rest of the prison was falling apart, you know. So then everybody wanted to be kind of in the studio. Even the guards, you know, they always, you know, the guards ils sont tellement en prison, autant en prison que nous-mêmes, tu vois. Eux, ils font 14 jours en prison, ils dorment dans la prison, ils retournent chez eux 5 jours et retournent dans la prison pour 14 jours. So they're locked up.
Damn.
So they kind of
But
become...
by choice.
Yeah, by choice, but you know, that by choice or not, because they need money. That's what they need.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
That's what they need. So they're there. Si moi, en tant que prisonnier, je suis capable de leur donner un $5, là, $5, c'est la vie là-bas. You give them $5, you're blessed for life, you know? So we had this interaction with the guards, giving them copies of movies and all that. So that created that aura around me that allowed me to stay sane in my brain, you know? That's what it is.
That's good.
I started doing music videos in the prison. You know, it was crappy. I was doing it with a cell phone I smuggled, and we were trying and it built a big, like I was saying, the aura around me. You know, everybody was respecting me. Everybody liked what I did. But then I got liberated. I was free. Then
were you like that day that you gave, like a weird feeling, were like sad at the same time that you were leaving, or?
Of course, because it's your people. You know, you struggled.
For 5 years,
tu as partagé. You know, and you only had this amount of rice. We were 3, 4, and we separated. You know, we all survived. So you build like strong
bonds.
Strong bonds.
Are they out? The other three?
Some of them.
Members?
No, one is out. The other one is still there. He's probably stay there his entire life. You know.
Oh man.
But it is what it is, you know. At least now they still have the recording studio, they still have the library, and they try to do the best they can, you know. So that.
So, but before going in prison, you knew about music, obviously.
Yeah, I was doing music, and basically I was committing crimes in order to get myself a studio or anything. You know, we all get crazy ideas, but in my case, we're not all maybe. But I was crazy enough to think that committing crimes would pay me enough to buy a studio and not have to invest in going this, that. But obviously, it's all a dream, you know. It's kind of, even now, I'm pretty sure 80% of the artists all have that kind of.
Fugazi.
Exactly.
Bring us back in, you know, when you were a child. Like you said, you were born in Guatemala?
Yeah, I was born in Guatemala. Came to Canada, I was about 9, 10. So I actually grew up in Montreal, Le Plateau, you know.
Okay.
And that was my life before, you know. But as immigrants, you know, I don't know if people know, when you first come to Canada, your parents work a lot. So basically you're left to yourself and you're just out there trying to figure out life, you know.
And that's how you got introduced to
all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you have there's one question actually from the audience. Did you have a mentor or someone you looked up to, in prison or outside of prison?
I always like to look up to people, you know, because it's inspiring. I think when you can see someone who materialized the dream you have, you get inspired. You're like, it's possible, you know. So in Panama, I had this director, photographer, Esteban Oriol. He's like a super known photographer in Los Angeles, and he has this crazy style. He was a big inspiration, but never really had a mentor, you know. I'm a self-taught person. I like to read, research and stuff. So just coming back to when I came out, the aura I was creating when I got out, I was sad because I was losing all that, right? I built the respect and all that around me, and now I was out. Nobody knew me. You know, in prison, it's so easy to become famous because everybody sees your face every day. You know, you have no choice to see your face. So you can push whatever you want on them. But now that I was out, it was so wide that I didn't know how to do it. And I started working, and my goal always was to kind of get that same position I had in prison, but in real life. And that's how I kept on working on my videos, and it just worked.
Yeah, so from prison to videographer, basically.
Yeah.
How does that happen exactly?
It's the struggle, man. It's the struggle because when you come out of prison, 5 years, you're lost in society. I remember the first day I wasn't able to cross the street. You know what I mean? Like, it was overwhelming. Too much lights, too much noise. I was just paralyzed there and trying to figure out when to cross the damn street. So from there on, I couldn't get a job. Because he's an ex-con. Nobody wants you. Basically, nobody wants you.
Discrimination and everything.
Discrimination and all that. So I wanted to build my own business so I could live off it and not live under that pressure, society pressure. So that's why I pushed it. I pushed it on the videos and pushed it. I worked with 16 Pads. He was one of my mentors when I came out. You know,
This was 16 Pads?
16 Pads. You know, these guys are amazing on their videos. So I went almost to all the shoots. I even went to Poland with them just to see how they worked and try to absorb all that goodness. And that's how it followed.
In trouble a lot now.
Yeah, I had this luck, you know, with my business. I travel almost once a month, you know, at least, you know. I went to Morocco, some Praia in Africa. I went to Poland. I went to Romania, Transylvania.
Jamaica recently.
Jamaica. I've pretty much been around.
Have you been back to your home country, Guatemala?
No, not really. I went when I was a kid. When my parents, I got mugged. You know, they stole everything from me, and I was like, you know what? My grandparents passed away, so had nothing to do.
You have no
with
family there.
Yeah, it's done. You know.
Actually, somebody was asking, is going back again to Panama, is the prison there like the show Prison Break and stuff like that? Is it? Like,
No, it's the essence. Some of the
Okay.
essence is there,
Yeah.
but you know, it's very different. You know, we have a community. It's a community. The prison is a community. You know, and everybody's trying to. There is crimes, there is violence, a lot of violence, but it's not. You're not always exposed to it. You know, if you're smart, if you know how to communicate, if you're not how do you say a crosseur,
well,
you know,
scammer.
a scammer, you'll be good. You know.
But your first day, they tried to test you, right?
Of course, everybody tries to test you all the time. You know, they're like, "Give me your money." Like, you're up, but you know, I need to live too. And that's the moment. If you don't stand tall at that moment,
They're gonna step on you.
boom, they're gonna step on you. Exactly. That's the key. If you bend on the first day, forever, ils te catégorisent comme une personne faible. Et à ce moment-là, il n'y a plus rien qui va t'enlever les tempes de faible. You know? So you gotta fight.
You're stamped.
For it. Yeah, you gotta fight for it.
So now full time, you're an artist.
Yeah, I'm an artist full time now.
And you live off that and everything.
Absolument, absolument.
Good for you, man.
I can do like, you know, and sometimes I do 3-4 videos a month. You know.
Have you worked with people like French Montana?
I've done a Caris. I've worked with Caris. I did 3 videos. This is a French rapper. On a video with him, I have like 25 million views, and another one 12. I did some shots with Chris Macari for Booba, and you know, like these are.
So you're working more with French artists, right?
Yeah, French artists.
Okay.
I've been working a lot.
That's
with,
your niche right now, but I'm pretty sure doors are gonna open for you.
Yeah, I'm
sure.
trying to open, and I went to Jamaica, got amazing contacts. I mean, so hopefully next month we'll be seeing something big with some big American rappers.
And I saw a couple of your products, man. You're good at what you do, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks, I appreciate it.
A question from the audience. Tell us how you organize, plan, and prioritize your work.
Well, in the rap scene, you know, what happens a lot is they call you and they'll be like, yo, I want to do a video clip tomorrow. Are you available? It's like, yeah, okay. Can you send me the song so I can get an idea? Will do. They never do. You get to the shoot, you get to hear the music there, and then you improvise. That's the system that I'm trying to change in the rap industry here in Canada, you know, in Montreal at least. You know, everybody's just like, they don't have no plans. They're not trying to do nothing. Now, I started doing some bigger contracts. This week, as I said, I'm doing the biggest contract ever, and I'm going to Mel Studio. It's one of the biggest studios in Canada.
What is that exactly? What's going on? Like, what's this biggest contract
It's
about?
a 12-year-old.
It's a 12-year-old.
Okay.
She does K-pop.
Okay.
I'm 100% convinced she's gonna be a huge artist the coming year. So they put in my hands. Well, I'm working for Québécois and Musical for the music videos.
Wow.
So they really facilitated everything in order for me to get anything I desired for this shoot.
Wow.
Like basically anything, you know. So I just went there. You know, I'm a very passionate person, you know. So I went in front of the director. She was like the director of Sony Canada. She's one of the most powerful women in the music industry in Canada. She wanted to meet me and she wanted to hear my pitch. I pitched it. I had a budget, but my ideas were over it. And she just decided to say, you know what? Do it. Go for it. Let's see what you have. So I'm in this position now. Just after this, I'm going to the studio. I'm going to see it,
Beautiful.
prepare it.
I love it, man.
And yes, I feel like this is approaching the success story I wanted to bring to the people, you know. And by doing this, it helps me, obviously, you know, financially and in my spirit. But I really want to show people that it doesn't matter where you come from. If you can change your mind and you have that spirit in you that you want to get something, you know, you got to do it with heart. You got to work. Not always think about money, because money, at the end of the day, it could come second, you know. It could come second. If you do your work with heart, with passion, the money will come. It's inevitable, you know. It will come. It will come. It will come. But first, do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just
Build
do
your
it.
reputation, experience.
Build your brand.
Reputation is one of the keys, you know. If you do your work right, you give it on time, you're always there. People have nothing to do, you know, and nothing to say bad about you, and it's a good vibe. Having a good vibe with people, that's of course, you know.
And also, you're putting Montreal on the map.
Absolutely.
There's people that could have put Montreal on the map. Absolutely, man.
Slowly, man. In the video scene, I'm getting up there. Thanks to God, man. I'm proud. I'm happy, and I always get contracts. I get to travel, so I'm, you know, I like to tell my little brother, like, you see, like, you can do this. You can do this. Go, do it, do it, do it. I can push everybody around me to, because I know it's feasible. You know, I came from the bottom. You know, like I had nothing to eat. You know, and I build it, and now I'm dealing with videos with $40,000 in budget. And I came from there, you know, so it's possible to accomplish and to build something big if you want it, if you really want it, if you put the work on it, if you got passion and patience.
And hard work, right?
Hard work is the
Your family must be proud of you, man.
Yeah. And you should be proud of yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes, I am.
I'm pretty sure you were proud of yourself when you were on Journal de Montréal recently.
Yeah,
I saw that, yeah.
I've been in the Journal de Montréal. I've done a bunch of interviews with Radio Canada, with, you know, and I love talking. I love talking. So it's been great.
Here's another question from the audience. Two questions, actually. But what type of work do you shoot? Which we already know, but you could say it. And who is your biggest person you have shot so far?
So yeah, I do music videos, as I said. The biggest shoot I've done is for the France artist Caris. You know, since we got like 25, 26 million views. I had a good budget. It's been 2 years though, and yeah, that was one of the projects that allowed me to think I could go further. You know, because it's always a question of growing. Once you get comfortable, growing. So that was a stepping stone for me to believe I could grow. And now this year I participated in this documentary about cannabis that I recommend all of you go and watch. It's called Cannabis Illegal. It's on telequebec.ca. You can just look for it. And I did the research and I did some of the imagery for it. And this month I'm nominated for Prix Gémeaux, you know, over that work. So that's the other thing I'm working on, documentaries. And that's why I was saying before, I don't know if it was off camera, but you asked me, you have no more contact with that people. And I said, well, kind of. I still have contact with the people I used to work before and do stupid shit with. Because now I'm able to go see them and I'm like, they trust me. They know I'm not a snitch. They know I'm, you know, if I say something, it is what it is. So I can go approach them and say, yo, we're gonna put a mask, bro. We're gonna put some gloves. We're gonna change your voice and just tell me what's going on with this business. Guns, heroin.
And there's a few of those in Netflix. So
yeah,
that's
exactly. So I'm trying to do that in Quebec. You know, it's never seen. I did this first one with cannabis. You know, you gotta watch it. I even followed this guy who was going to rob some cannabis of a crop. And we followed him, so it was full of energy and adrenaline, exactly. And I'm an adrenaline junkie, you know.
So film like a girl live going to rob.
Yeah, we were like a three people team. We were there filming everything, following, you know. So that makes me live, you know, because I kind of get to see the life I was living, but on the other side.
Yeah, but if you were to get caught,
it would have been fixed, you know. We had like the best lawyers in town, you know, for that thing, you know. So we were covered. But the thing is not the police. The thing is, what if
you get shot?
You get there, yeah, and the owner of that weed is there, and you're there to rob. You know, that's the danger. That's the real danger. Legally and all that, you can all fix it. But once
more the crime.
Yeah, more the crime. And if you see the guy with the 12 gauge on your face, what you gonna do?
Yeah, you're on TV.
I'm filming.
Oh my God.
Give me a camera.
Damn, man, that's crazy.
So yeah, that's my life right now, and I love it.
Good man.
And you learned everything about filming on your own.
Yeah. Basically, I went with people and saw a little bit, so I can the important part is to know what to look for, you know. That's the thing. That's why school is so good, you know, because if you go to school, you get all the pointers, and you know what to look for. So it will go faster. If you don't go to school like I did, you'll figure out once you make the mistake, and it's like that's wrong. Somebody will tell you, and then you go look for it, you know. So it takes so much more
So
time.
school would have advanced you more. It would have been better if you had that choice, of course.
Absolutely, but I can't sit on a table.
Of course, man.
You know, but
Good. And for the people that are doing video edits, so on, here's one question. What software do you edit on, and what tools do you use?
I edit on Adobe Premiere. I love it. I think it's almost the standard everywhere. You know, you have Avid, but Premiere is very functional. I love Adobe Premiere. For camera gear, you know, I have for my personal gear when I do everyday shoots, improvised the rap stuff. I use a Panasonic Ep.5. I just got it. It's a very good camera. I love it. I got my Ronin S. It's a little stabilizer. Got a couple lights. That's about it. That's about it. From there on, you're ready to roll and make magic.
Good.
I'm sure we could do some great collaborations together.
Pretty sure.
For sure. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Find a way. It could be in your videos.
Yeah, man.
The Nick
make
and Jimmy
you guys look gangster like
There you go.
Yeah, man.
You get some fake tattoos, a hand like this.
A skeleton here, so when you do this, you have like.
Perfect. So let's say for anybody watching this video right now that wants to get involved in the video business.
Yeah.
Obviously not Panama, but the video business. Right? What advice would you give them?
Bro, work it, reach out for the people, don't be afraid to do your job for free. That was my key. That was my key, is doing a lot of work for free so I can get the practice on, because you know, it's the most important. Don't be afraid, reach out for the people who have that following that will expose your work, you know, because it's important. You know, even if you're good at the best in Montreal, if nobody gets to see your work, you won't get nowhere, you know. If you have talent, spread it like it's an unlimited jam, you know, on your bread. Just spread it all over, you know. That's what you need to do. Work with passion. Don't think of the money now. It will come, and it's good money, but you need to push it. You need that investment of work, of time, and you'll get somewhere. Define your style. That's a very important thing. Define a style. Push it to the limit, you know. Identify. Il faut identifier ton style. Pourquoi les gens me reconnaissent? C'est quoi que, you know, c'est ça la question que je me suis beaucoup posée. C'est quoi qui me différencie? C'est quoi mon style? You know, and I have these lower angles, and I really go up. I put the images up to your face. That's my style.
That was my question, and I'm pretty sure other people are having this question in mind. What's the difference? Quoi la différence de vous et l'autre personne? The style.
On the top, style, mais c'est la différence, c'est le vibe. You have to be open to listen. You have to be open to say no to, you know. But you have to have good vibes, and always trying to find solutions. I think that's one of the keys for me, you know, because people know if they're working with me, I won't be like there's a problem, but there's a solution, and that's what people like, you know. At the end of the day, sometimes you might not even be the best at what you do, but if you have the right vibes, people will call you. People want to live good experiences. They don't want to be stuck up with somebody, this, and complaining. They won't call you back. They don't want that in their life.
And
Absolutely.
what about what do you have in store for the future? What's your plan?
My plan is
5-10 years from now.
5-10 years from now, I wanna grow up in the music industry. That's my goal. So I'm trying.
Still in Canada or going to the US?
That would be my next steps, is to expand. Probably I wanna check Europe.
Okay.
With the States, I have troubles, you know, because of my past. So even for the
Can you travel to the US?
Huh?
You can't travel to the US.
I can't travel to the US.
You're not allowed? Oh, really?
No, I'm not allowed. So now I did a Atlanta rapper. I went to Jamaica. I'm doing this big rapper too. We're trying to meet up in Jamaica again so we can shoot there. So the States is good, but not for me, you know, not for me.
You can get like a pardon or something.
You're 7 years, I think, huh? 8 years?
Yeah, I've been through that, but you know, I have an Interpol case and all that stuff. So it's very complicated.
Wow.
So I'd rather go Latin America, Europe, France is a big pool of market. So that's where I'm planning to grow. This week I'm making one of the biggest moves I've ever done, and I think it will be the perfect presentation card to get accepted wherever I go. So my plan from here to 5 years, I want to be known as I am in Quebec, in France. Mm-hmm. From there on, I want to take over the Latin market, and that's where I'm going. I want to get budgets, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a video on a regular basis. That's what I want.
What is let's say like Hollywood style? What is normally the budget for a video?
For a video, it depends. It depends. Like the rap scene here, it's gonna be like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. On a subvention, on a good subvention, you'll get around $15,000. And when you get like the Hollywood thing, if we can call it, you'll get like $30,000 per a clip. Mm-hmm. And in the States, they go wild, they're like $150,000, and they just don't care,
Carlos, once again, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, man. We're very, very excited for you to be on the show. Your interview, man, like you said, you started from zero, and look at you now. You're an inspiration to us and to many. So thank you very much, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. I'm very, very proud to be here. Happy that you guys invited me. I was very excited when I got the invitation. Happy to be part of this.
Félicitations.
Félicitations.
Bienvenue.